Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Ro Khanna on Tuesday unveiled a bill aimed at aggressively lowering drug prices by stripping monopolies from drug companies if their prices are deemed excessive. Sanders has long railed against drug companies for their prices, and this bill is one of the most far-reaching proposals aimed at lowering them. The bill would strip the monopoly from a company, regardless of any patents, and allow other companies to create cheaper generic versions of a drug if the price for that drug is higher than the median price in Canada, the United Kingdom, Germany, France, and Japan. No other country allows pharmaceutical companies to charge any price they want for any reason they want. Sanders, who could run for president again in 2020, said in a statement, "The greed of the prescription drug industry is literally killing Americans, and it has got to stop," he added. Drug companies argue that other companies with price controls lack the innovation that happens in the United States. The bill does not have a clear path forward in the next 2 years, given the Republicans will still control the Senate, but the measure shows how far progressives want to go on drug pricing and comes at a time when there is a growing momentum for taking some action on the issue, even if it might not be as far-reaching. President Trump has also focused on lowering the price of drugs, and Democrats hope to be able to work with him in a bipartisan way. Khanna, a progressive who represents Silicon Valley, joined Sanders on the bill. "Today we're sending Big Pharma a message. Market exclusivity is a privilege, and when you abuse that by price gouging the sick and aging, then you lose that privilege," Khanna said. And that is absolutely correct. Whenever you have monopolies on anything relating to businesses of whatever background, more often than not, the people who are at the top try to, as Connor mentioned right here, price gouge or otherwise find some way of increasing their benefit and lowering the benefits of those at the bottom, all part of a continuous cycle of keeping themselves at the top and you at the bottom. This is also why we have the people who oppose raising the estate tax, so you can have someone's grandfather be able to leave inheritance of millions of dollars to the child or the grandson or granddaughter that's never had to work for anything, or to that extent. It's all part of that continuous cycle where a select group of people makes it big, and now they seek to get revenge on those who are far less fortunate than they are. And what I find so interesting about this bill is that, well, what I found curious about is the selection of countries. So going back up here, we have Japan, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and Canada. What went into them picking those countries is what makes me curious. I didn't see that in either of their statements, but to my knowledge, none of those have they all have a healthcare system, so, or some other kind of non-third world system, if that makes sense. And hopefully we can rally more support around going after these monopolies. I really like this congressional duo thing the two have done, because it's making headway, and it really goes to show you how lazy their contemporaries are. Name 10 senators that you can think of as having done something to combat any of these companies or address some huge wrong in society. Name 30 representatives. Even with the new Congress that's coming in, it's still going to be a few people. And this is why it's important to really understand what we're dealing with. People like Sanders and Ro Khanna are not mutually exclusive. They may be very slim in number when they're holding office, but a good chunk of people, if given the opportunity, would do the exact same thing. But in the case of these other individuals who are bought out by the drug lobby, they're intending to sit in their position and do nothing while these issues continue persisting in society. And then anyone who wants to knock any of them out has to deal with the media not giving them any coverage if they run against them, all these companies working together against your candidacy by supplying the other person with a bunch of money. It's all part of a little scheme. And a few of them are able to get past it. I really wish they would band together and support ideas such as this. You're always going to have people who object to a change in anything. But whenever you can get individuals who want to think practically about a long-term issue, which the United States policy on drugs, the war on drugs, has been a colossal failure. It's good to see individuals wanting a difference in that nonsense, getting rid of the three strikes rule. And this is all of that stuff can be discussed at a later point, but this is a step in the right direction for drug policies and just the companies and manufacturers and everything associated with it. So I really appreciate them for doing this. I hope that enough Democrats look at, the need to stop the markets from being manipulated in such a way to where one company is just on top and everyone else just keeps getting squashed to the bottom.